Going back to our car analogy, so if Matt was driving 150, you're driving 140,
Okay.
you hammer on the brakes, but you're stopping short of the line.
I see. Ooh, that was fast, but left.
Wow, we
Feels
got
like it did.
so much potential to get you so long. Sounds funny.
I like that.
All right, so let's talk about yours, Mark. So a couple things. Believe it or not, your hand speed is 1 to 1.5 miles an hour slower than Bally's.
Another thing you beat me at.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Interesting.
what happens is
No
where Matt was cutting out about 3 miles an hour, 3.5 miles an hour when we first started it to kick it out to the angular. You're kicking out 6.5 to 7 miles an hour.
Okay.
So as a result, you're translating that fairly well. Now,
Okay.
the interesting thing though for you, which I'm a little bit surprised at, is that your distance to impact is way too far.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
So I can hold on to it a
literally
little
it's
bit longer.
happening at 63 centimeters
Okay.
from impact. Now, there's a bit of a height difference.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
but-
a little bit of it.
Yeah.
So I would say that if we can get you in a little bit more optimal zone around 47 to 50 centimeters,
Okay.
somewhere in that ballpark, we should be able to let this out harder, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
No,
Okay.
that makes perfect sense.
So for
Absolutely.
you, it's think of it this way. You're, going back to our car analogy. So if Matt was driving 150, you're driving 140,
Okay.
you hammer on the brakes, but you're stopping short of the line.
I see. Okay.
So what's going to happen to the club face?
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of times we're going to dump it into the ground, which is why we get the low point too close to the
Shallow.
ball,
Yeah.
and why the face wants
So
to
it's
close.
just happening a fraction early, and then it's.
So
shutting.
here's the
Okay.
cool thing, right?
Yeah.
So as I stretch this out a little bit, you're going to see your low point move further forward and the
Okay.
face open.
Okay. Okay. I like that.
Both of those are things that you like.
I like both of those things for sure.
All right.
Okay.
So what I
interesting.
want you to do for me is I want you to hit a shot where you feel, again, a little bit like we worked on a little bit with Bally there. I want you to feel like you kind of drive the handle longer, like you're hitting some sort of a punch.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
see what happens there.
Okay. Still a little skinny.
Okay. All right. So you're definitely way more coachable because hand speed was about the same, 19.5 miles an hour.
Okay.
You cut out close to 7 miles an hour.
Okay.
Okay. But what happened there is that you drove that speed closer to the golf ball. It was
Yeah.
44 centimeters.
Okay.
So you almost overdid
I was
it.
going to say, yeah, okay. I
Okay.
can do more than that.
But
too,
look what happened to your low point value.
Yeah, moved way forward.
Was 4.8
Yeah.
ahead. That's inches.
Yeah.
Okay. And the face was obviously more
square.
open.
Yeah, yeah.
So you
for
see
sure.
how there's a correlation to the timing here.
Yeah.
And this is what we all feel. When we're playing really good golf, we're probably driving this handle and the speed to the, let's say, the magic location or the
more
right
often. That's when you're-
location.
Yeah, you're in the rhythm, right? Or
Right.
you've got that.
And
yeah.
from there, the club's kicking out and squaring up beautifully for you.
Okay, yeah.
Without even trying.
Yeah, it's just happening naturally.
Right.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
So we need to feel a little bit more like that. Even though we mishit it a little bit, obviously
Yeah.
hit it low on the face,
Yep.
that was closer to probably what we're looking for.
Okay. Okay.
So let's
I'll
try it
Let me
again.
try one more like that. Yeah. A little better.
Okay. So that was sort of in between. So that was a little bit faster hand speed. So that was about just about 20 miles an hour.
Okay, so jumped
Okay.
up a little bit. Yeah.
Still cut out about 6.
Okay.
Okay, so fairly angular. Probably stuck in the ground just a little bit
Yeah, it was
heavy.
a touch heavy. Yeah.
But you see how the low point number
yeah.
kind of came back a hair. The last one was 4.8 ahead.
Yeah, so it's another inch and a half back. Yeah.
Right, came back a little bit. So you see how there's a correlation between where you create your speed and the low point value.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. No,
Right.
and I think I can feel that too, right? Like it's definitely something that I play around with a little bit. I think I let that one out a little early.
But it was early. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
great. Okay, the fact that you feel the difference.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a touch early. So let's
Yeah.
make it a little bit later.
Try one more like that.
Okay.
Yep.
So the other thing that will happen too is because you're driving the handle later, I'd like to see you play the ball forward
Forwards,
as a fader.
yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, again, the same things we worked on with the driver in the other video.
Yeah, handle's going to come
Handle
back.
slightly back.
Okay.
Okay.
Face a little closed. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Now that's going to feel pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty solid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, very solid strike, 20 miles an hour. Actually, you didn't cut enough out of it. Okay. So as a result, face got left a little open.
Yeah, I can feel. Yeah.
Okay. Let's try that again.
Okay.
Again, I monkeyed with your setup a little bit.
Yeah, it's okay. It felt good though. I'd take that.
Okay. Okay, pretty close there. Okay,
Yeah.
so that was 51 centimeters.
Okay, so
that was 20 miles an hour. You cut out about 5.5.
Okay.
So I'd still like to see it cut out a little bit more.
a little bit more. Okay.
Okay, and drive it a little bit more forward, but that was okay.
Okay, so if I'd be curious to see. So I hit a lot of punch shots. I'm just gonna hit one like that, and I want to see
Sure.
kind of where the values come up. So I'm trying to hit a low, punchy fade here.
Okay, just hold it for a sec. Okay, try that.
That a little skinny.
Okay, now interesting enough, a little bit like happened with Matt, believe it or not, you created less hand speed further from the ball.
Okay, interesting. Interesting.
So even though you felt like it was going to be later,
Yeah.
you actually created earlier. So remember
Okay,
how I
interesting.
said to him, I want you to feel like, take it back a little shorter, okay?
Yeah.
Take it back a little bit shorter,
Yeah.
and then try and feel like we accelerate a little bit into it.
Okay. Okay, I can do that.
Right, so that was interesting. So that one moved to 44 centimeters.
Okay. So that was definitely a different sequencing in my backswing there.
Correct,
Yeah.
okay? Now the cool thing, so that was great, okay? Because that was 19.5 miles an hour. You cut out 6.6 miles an hour.
Okay.
So that seems to be your magic number, like 6 to 7
Okay.
miles an hour that you decelerate that lead arm. But because it happened a little bit closer to the golf ball, you see how the low point value was 4 ahead.
Yeah.
You see how the face was never going to go left.
No, yeah.
So that rhythm, if you want to call it that, of what we changed there by feeling a little bit shorter and then accelerating
Yeah. It
might
kinda
be
gets me
better
into
for you.
that zone,
So you
yeah.
might be more Tony Finau than Fred Couples.
I see what you mean. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
make sense?
No, and I like that feeling. For me, I've always had a longer golf swing, so I think like when I do shorten it for a long period of time, it felt awkward. But now it feels like it's going to go less wrong. It's going to
Correct.
go a little
Well,
straighter.
I think for you, especially with the irons, if you can kind of get, I think that would be the value I'd work on with you. Whereas
Yeah.
with Matt, it was about trying to create the angular and creating a sharper deceleration value.
Okay.
In your case, you decelerate magnificently.
Okay.
It happens too far away from the ball.
Okay.
Okay, so
I
if
see
we
what you're
can
saying.
get this to happen closer to the ball, you're going to feel like you can absolutely smash it without going left.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
All right, let me try one.
So
like
give me that same feel, kind of short.
Short.
Okay, and
Yeah.
then accelerate hard, kind of Tony Finau. Right.
That was thumped.
Yeah, you can hear the sound changing.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the cool thing. Again, that was bang on. Okay, 19.6 miles an hour, 6.4 miles an hour of deceleration.
Okay.
And that's producing slightly more speed at 94, but a heck of a lot more smash.
Yeah. It felt like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
More importantly, though, you see how your face doesn't want to go left.
No,
now.
I can tell. Like it for me, it really feels like it's never going to do that. I feel like I'm way out in front of it. Right.
Right.
It's later.
Right.
If that makes sense. So.
So the cool thing is, again, this is why I really like this Dewiz device,
that.
because it's showing us one of the intangibles that we generally have with golf is timing,
Yeah, for sure.
right? You hear people talk all the time. They're like, oh, I want to take timing out. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, no, every swing has timing.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
There's either right timing or wrong timing. But
Sure.
with this device, we can actually
can
measure
measure it,
this
yeah.
timing.
It's very cool.
And actually quantify this,
Yeah.
especially up on TrackMan here. We're seeing the face values change. We're seeing the low point values change. We're seeing the ball speeds change
Yeah.
based on how your signature, if you will, with the device is showing up.
I see. Okay,
Okay.
so some days I'm just naturally going to do this, right? Like, or it's just going to kind of sync up a little bit better.
Probably.
Yeah. And
Probably.
But I think the more that I can practice that and try and feel that same thing, probably the more
The
consistent.
funny thing is, you probably hit the ball better on colder days than really warm days.
100%. Like the fact that you just said that scares me, because like it means you know what you're talking about. Because 100%. Or when it's windy and I try and flight things and try
because
and like,
those tempos or those sort of rhythms of what you're doing would be more similar to what we're seeing here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I would, yes, that's exactly it. So I'm just going to pretend
So
it's
you
windy
should
and cold
go
all the
live
time.
in Ireland or Scotland
Yeah.
and play that all the time.
Absolutely,
Right,
try
you'll
and
be fine.
pretend it's freezing all the
Right?
time.
Don't go to Arizona.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, now you got it. You really got it now. Okay, so now again, we're keeping that within our zone. That was a little bit more at 47 centimeters.
Okay.
But almost exactly the same. 19 and a half hand speed, 6.4 mile an hour decel.
Interesting, yeah. I can feel it.
So you're feeling the rhythm of this is starting to become more consistent.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
And it feels like I can, like I'm not even worried about where the face is right now, but it feels like,
You can't go left.
no, I can't. And which is such a great, like everything I do in my whole golf swing is to avoid going left. So
Correct.
the fact that I can kind of do that and sequence that, I feel like I can aim more left without worry, which is a huge thing for me.
All right, let's try that one last time.
Try
here.
one more here.
You've nailed it. You've got it now.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Okay.
It's like,
So Scotty, one other thing though, this applies to golfers at any speed.
Correct.
That correlation, whether you're swinging at 70 miles an hour or 100 miles an hour.
yeah,
I mean,
Each one of us
create
has,
efficiency with problems.
right, exactly. And each one of us has, generally what we see is the maximal hand speed is going to happen right around waist height or so with that left arm.
Okay.
Is it right around waist height? You know, when we measure tour players, that's kind of where they come, give or take an inch or two. You know,
Okay,
it's,
yeah,
it's pretty
everyone's-
close.
yeah.
Okay. And then from there, they're able to take all of the lag, or if you want to call it lag, and get rid of all those angles and be able to square it up and still produce good impact
interesting.
conditions.
Yeah, very interesting.
Okay. But one of the things that affects that is certainly length of backswing in your case. So feeling more JB Holmes, more
Yeah.
Tony Finau,
Yeah.
for you is fitting the mold better.
Yeah.
So as a result, you're hitting it more solid, never left.
See,
Which is great.
Yeah, that's two things I want. Obviously, I think a lot of people would like. But the one thing for me is like I can make a lot of different golf swings, right? Like I can hit different for good and bad, right? But I never know what's better, right? Like I think because I can hit longer backswing and hit it pretty solid for 4 or 5 shots in a row, and I go, well, it feels a little bit different. But knowing that information now, that allows me to go, okay, that's better for me, and I can continue down that path instead of trying every day is different, right? Every day feels like I'm trying something different. So I really, really like that. And I think seeing, obviously TrackMan helps being able to see those results, but I can feel it too, and that you have it in your
Well,
fingertips,
that's,
right?
again, you know, that's where, you know, the next big wave in tech is being able to understand players' feels and their intents.
Yeah.
Right? And we've got all this great measuring system called TrackMan, but now we've got a system here with Dewiz here where we're actually looking a little bit at the timing, and you can feel the differences in the timing.
100%.
So one of the things this is also measuring is your rhythm and your tempo.
Yeah.
Okay. So these very quick swings, you know, we see a lot of tour players sort of a 3-to-1 ratio between backswing timing and downswing timing.
Yeah.
Your ratio when you swing like Tony Finau here is much closer to 2-to-1.
Okay, interesting.
So it's much quicker.
Yes.
Okay.
Interesting.
But that fits the profile better for you. So if you go 3-to-1 and make this super long, loose backswing,
yeah.
it's
doesn't
not
work for
fitting
me.
the timing
No,
very well.
No, and I
Okay.
can feel that. You're right.
So you're more Rory McIlroy, you're more Ben Hogan in terms of you're more Tony Finau. Quick, shorter swing tempo for you
Okay.
unequivocally is better.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
interesting because I've felt that for years, but it's hard because everybody talks about different things, right? And everyone says, "Oh, well, this is better." And knowing that now, it makes me feel better, right? It makes me feel like, okay, now I can actually practice that, knowing that it is a good thing for me.
Well, you're very good at getting the angular out.
Okay.
Okay,
good
so
to know.
that's
Yeah.
why, one of the reasons why you do smash it and you hit a long way. So even though your hand speed is about 1 mile an hour
It's true.
slower than Valley's,
Yeah,
okay, your smash factor, your ball speeds are
typically higher.
4 or 5
Yeah.
miles an hour faster at least.
Yeah.
Because you're translating that speed much better.
very
Okay, so the
interesting.
club speed is about 2 to 3 miles an hour faster than Valley's.
Yeah.
Because that angular component is you're very good at getting rid of the angles.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So
That makes
your
sense.
whole game is like Cameron Champ or,
Yeah.
or Sergio Garcia, is you're trying to drive that handle as close
far
to the ball
forwards.
as you can.
Gosh.
because you're incredibly good at getting rid of it.
Interesting.
But a player that isn't very good at getting rid of it
has to avoid
can't
that.
do it.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're
Okay.
saying. Because you're right, I think there was a point in my life too where I just felt like I hit everything punchy and tried to hit it low. And I think that's because that forced me to do that and to hold on to it longer.
Right.
Because for sure, if I just make a close my eyes, hit a shot, it feels like I do that.
Right.
And I really have to avoid that feeling. So seeing that now that's exciting. Like that's
So the
very
interesting
cool.
thing is, believe it or not, you could probably even, drive it even harder.
I was just going to say, I want
You know
to try
what I'm
that with drivers so bad. Like that's
So
because
let's hit one more with the 7 so
Yeah,
you
okay.
can't recreate those numbers, but that
Absolutely.
would be the lesson here today. It was
Yeah.
very simple, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It is let's think of more JB Holmes or Tony
Yeah.
Finau as your model.
Yeah, simple,
okay?
better
and
for me
just
too.
go ahead and hit it like that.
Okay, I like that. Let's try it. Solid.
Okay. Yeah, fit right nicely. 2-to-1 ratio in timing. Okay.
Perfect.
So very close
That-
again on the timing. You decelerated 7.1 miles an hour out of that. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so that was a very highly angular, the myth of the heavy hit.
Yeah, true.
That's
yeah.
kind of what that is,
Yeah.
right? Is there's a different sound sometimes with players because some players are using more angular. They talk
very
about Cameron Champ,
Yeah,
right?
that's- yeah.
It's very highly angular. When you sit and hit balls beside Cameron Champ, it's
Yeah.
like a cannon going
Yeah,
off.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's hitting it so hard, and there's so much angular component there that even the sound of the golf ball being
true.
struck is different.
Yeah, it's true. Like I've heard Henrik Stenson, right? Same
Very-
sort of thing.
right.
Like he hits it and it might not go further than somebody else, but the
Just a
sound is
slightly
so different.
sound, right?
Yeah,
It's
the
just a
pitch is different.
different,
Yeah.
sort of a different makeup of linear to angular.
Interesting. Very
Okay.
cool. Yeah, and that's something like, it's hard to quantify that, but the fact that now we have a tool to do that, it's very exciting, right? Because especially in fittings, I talk to a lot of people about this, is like, I can't feel what you feel, but
Right.
now we kind of can,
You can.
right? Which is very, very cool. That's
Right.
a very cool piece of equipment. That's exciting. Cool. So you're never getting this back because
Yeah,
I'm...
exactly.
How excited are you?
It's very exciting, yeah.
You're mashing it.
That's good.
That's like my 4-iron ball speed, so that kind of hurts my feelings a bit. But
Yeah, it's pretty high for sure.
You got stuff to work on.
Now, one of the things I think that I want the average golfer to understand is that the hands do not travel the fastest at impact.
Yeah.
The hands are actually traveling the fastest, roughly, 47 centimeters or about 1.5 feet before the golf ball.
Yeah.
And that's where they should max out their hand speed, and then from there, the hands actually, or the lead arm in particular, has to decelerate slightly to allow that club to angularly accelerate or be able to get those angles out, if you will, and be able to hit it nice and solid.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's a magic number for everybody, but what we generally see is somewhere around that 1.5 feet with a 7-iron. It's a little bit further away with the driver, which makes sense because a lot of times we're hitting up on it. We've got to get rid of those angles a little bit more.
Yeah.
And that number is actually a little bit less when you hit a wedge because you're driving the handle closer to the golf ball so that you can have a negative angle of attack and trap your wedges appropriately.
Interesting.
So the interesting thing is it's not even the same with each golf club. But first thing to recognize, though, is the hands don't travel the fastest at impact.
Yeah, that's a revelation, I think, for the average person, right? And even for us, too, that we understand quite a bit about the golf swing and TrackMan and numbers, and that's something I think all of us learned today, other than this guy, right? So very cool.
drops
Well,
the
anyways, a
knowledge.
lot of fun. I mean, especially if that translates into some better play, some more solid ball striking for you, Mark.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So for you, it was all about where the speed was placed. You do a heck of a great job getting the angular component.
Okay.
Okay, so you don't need to work on that. You need to work on length of backswing and sort of the timing of the swing
Yeah.
to get the handle a little bit closer to impact where you feel like it can't go left.
Yeah, see, and for me, that's something that I've always been a feel golfer, right? So a feel drill that I could do is like, that's right up my alley. I love that. I'm excited about that. So
Right.
very
And
cool.
for Bally, right, it was a little bit more that he was actually creating more hand speed than you were, about 1 mile an hour more, but we really weren't getting the angular component.
Yeah.
So that was a combination of two things. We do need to get the handle a little bit closer to impact, but then we also need to learn how to get rid of some of those angles.
I see.
Okay. And so, you've got a great set of brakes on, basically.
Yeah.
And Bally's got, 17-year-old brakes there.
Yeah,
that
it's
he's just
brand new
squeaking.
Ferrari.
yeah,
Yeah.
basically, yeah, on a Ferrari engine.
Yeah.
So it just
I see.
doesn't work so well. It's like
Yeah.
a '78 Camaro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool. Awesome.
That was fun. Well, again, questions at smashfactory.ca,
Yeah.
or you can find Scotty on Instagram at.
Scott Cowx Certified.
If you have questions, please fire away. Hopefully you guys caught or understood some of the knowledge. I'm still trying to process myself. These guys are a lot smarter than me. And I think we can guilt him into coming back. What do you think?
I think we might be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.